it's right at that time that we can get started. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone had a wonderful Labor Day. I personally did lots of labor, of course, moving into my new home. So just really hope everyone enjoyed it, remembered the purpose of the holiday, and we'll have a fantastic week getting started with a Tuesday Talk. So I don't believe there's any other resident announcements. Any resident announcements? No? Okay. So we'll get started. Be a little brief. As we all know, last week the immediate focus was Hurricane Idalia. We obviously got through that unscathed. It was a wonderful week of team building and resident participation. So thank you to all the residents who did your part in helping prepare. And again, thank you to the team and all their hard work and dedication that they did preparing. So it won't be the last, it wasn't the first, and we'll do it all over again in the event that we have to. Not if, but when, right? So just a couple things from Innovative Home Services. They always like to remind you, the puzzle winner was actually Tom Weishazel, sorry about that, and P112, and they'll have another one coming out. HR reminder, employees are not to accept gifts from residents. We know that everyone appreciates them all and all that they do, but it is important that you do not try to give them cash or gift cards. It is against our policy. What we do in lieu of that is obviously the employee gift fund that we mention pretty much every Tuesday talk, as well as these Caught Being Extraordinary cards that put them in the drawing for Employee of the Month and Extraordinary Impressions rewards. So again, please let's utilize those resources because those are our community and company approved processes. A little bit of update from Environmental Services. They are detailing the south elevator ceilings and tiles. They're detailing the exterior lighting, and they're detailing the first floor windows that are located near the exits leading to the breezeways. So resident services, a couple of the raffle winners, the Safety Harbor Therapeutic Massage, that winner was 133, Ron Levine. The same time next year, bus tickets, winners were P303, Annette and Robert Pierce. The Beauty Salon gift card and basket, that winner was A401, Jerry Stadler. The $100 Goals gift card, the winner was M107, Miss Irene Ackroyd. The 4 hours of IHS services was M411, Emily Bryan. The $100 membership to Publix was M101, Ms. Caiaphas. The 75 Cheesecake Factory gift card was S112, Diane Stebbins. And the Enchanted Evening and Wine gift basket was Fred and Marion Green in S506. So remember, these were all of the raffles we did for all of your participation in the resident surveys. Those that emailed them directly did not, unfortunately, get to participate. That was part of our encouragement for you to bring your surveys and us to make sure that they were completed was to be placed in these raffles. So thank you to everyone, whether you mailed it in directly or completed it and worked with the raffles. Please do see Kelly, and she will be reaching out and to all these individuals to make sure they receive their prizes as well. Just a quick reminder, we have numerous of these luggage carts. We will be purchasing more, but please be kind and return them. That way everyone can use them. Please don't keep them overnight. Please do return them back to their spaces. Thank you in advance. Couple updates for COVID. We have 1 active case in the north and 3 active in the south. No major symptoms, mild, but still want to make sure we are keeping on heightened alert. Couple updates from plant operations. They replaced the boiler 1 in the healthcare center. As you have seen, we've mentioned in the corridors, there's the blue tape around the ceiling tiles. Those are areas that the AC units are being replaced. We are finishing replacing the AC filters in the north building and starting in the south building this week. The asphalt project is not completed just yet. We had a final inspection, and we did miss one handicap sign with the handicapped amount of the fine from the state of Florida. So we're gonna fix that, and then we'll get that signed off. So if you noticed it, I know we have some residents that are very up in the specs and the state permitting. We are aware, we are addressing that. So again, just another great shout out. Plant operations team really did a lot of hard work, a lot of heavy lifting, moving all of that breezeway furniture, all the chairs, all the tables, coming to your homes, removing things from your lanais, just everything that really requires preparing for a hurricane. The heavy lifting was done by Darwin in plant operations. So ultimately, we're just very appreciative. It took a village and your guys' assistance as well, but they did do the heavy lifting, so we just wanted to make sure to acknowledge that. Couple food and beverage updates. They have no sugar added vanilla and chocolate ice cream for the dining rooms, and they do have their dining committee meeting today at 11:30 for those that are in the committee. Gourmet dinners. This event continues every other Monday through November 15th. The Rosh Hashanah dinner will be Tuesday, September 19th. Oh, what did I say? Sorry, Wednesdays. Sorry about that. Wednesdays. So we'll get that updated, but that is every Wednesday for the gourmet dinners.
Every other.
Yes, every other. I got it except for the Monday instead of Wednesday. That's Phil's fault. We'll blame him. Just kidding. I make them send some of their updates to me directly, so we'll make sure Phil knows what day is gourmet. And then again, a reminder, the food and wine pairings are, he's going to do one Tuesday, September 26th, and they'll have more details to follow for that. Activities from Ginger and Sam, Wednesday, September 6th, Regency Dance Night, 7 p.m., Grand Lobby South. Thursday, September 7th, the Sarasota trip reminder for those who signed up. They're leaving at 9 a.m. If you need to cancel, please call Sam at 505. Friday, September 8th, they do have a Medicare speaker at 2 p.m. here in the town hall. Again, Friday, September 8th, vocal cords at 7 p.m. here in the town hall. Ginger will be acting transportation supervisor in Glenn's departure. I will address that momentarily. And she can be reached at extension 304 for both activities and transportation. So we will be helping as a team manage that process, and I will kind of elaborate on that a little later. But please, again, reminder, check the trip tables for all of the restaurant and museum information. Just a little bit of follow-up from me. Of course, my main focus last week was making sure you're all safe and that we took care of our team members on site as well as our residents. SinSite is our third-party partner that we've been utilizing for the surveys. They've received 132. A lot of those were sent directly. So we have more on hand. We will be sending those. They are actually due by 9/18. So there's still time to get in any surveys that have not been submitted. We are turning those in by 9/18. So Regency Oaks was, a little typo there, sorry. Regency Oaks was selected to host the corporate 2024 budget presentations. I know I mentioned that in the past, just want to remind you again. It will be here in the town hall. I think we're just going to take that, my left side over here on 9/18 to 9/21. That is the Health Peak portfolio budget presentations for 2024. All the other buildings, all the corporate will come over, we'll present the budgets. So we were the lucky hosts, and so you'll see them on. I always like to let you know when we have visitors. For all those asking, Lucy is recovering well. She has started working part-time as tolerated. If you know Lucy, she pushes the as tolerated. But nonetheless, she is here. We're, of course, working with her to make sure she doesn't outdo herself. We want her to mend and heal properly. Erin Clem is going to be, again, just want to reiterate, she is going to be our sales director, comes with lots of experience and is coming from one of our other communities. We do expect her to come around the end of Q3. We don't have an exact date yet. ANUAL is still helping manage sales in her absence, but we are still anticipating her arrival and looking forward to having her. We've been in communication while she's at the other community to start the transition. Did want to mention we will be starting the CapEx planning in the next couple of weeks. That is the capital expenditure projects that you would like to see that is $25,000 or over for the community. So I know that Chris and the board has probably had some conversations about that, but it is my goal to put items that the resident population would like to see. So if you don't give us your recommendations, we don't know, and you don't get to have an opinion in 2024. I'm kidding. But we definitely want your input on items you'd like to see, and we always submit that through the budget planning, and of course it has to be approved by ownership, but that exact process is how we've received the town hall and many of the other CapEx large projects that we've done over the years. A little bit more reminder, Resident Services is working on that clinic for vaccines in the fall. That will be COVID and flu, so I know Kelly's getting that information out to you. She's also working on that stroke awareness in September. Don't recall the date, but I know she's got that information out. Again, Betsy is wrapping up on the resident handbook, and that should be completed over the next 2 months. I did want to mention we do have our spa services fully functioning. Rejuvenate manages that process there in the salon, but they are doing facials and massages. At some point they'll start acupuncture, and they do have the relaxed space and the hydro massage. So that is something you're interested in, please do see the salon services. They have some great services. As I mentioned, unfortunately Glenn is no longer with us. I like to be very transparent and squash any rumors or gossiping. We had some unfortunate chain of events during emergency preparedness and evacuation. There are certain expectations that we have and that we all know according to our handbook and our policy. We had some conversations, and Glenn did decide to part ways. So Glenn, our Director of Transportation, is no longer with us, but Ginger will be helping manage that. In the meantime, we recruit for that role. So we will ensure that we maintain transportation. Bear with us if we have to utilize Uber a little more. We're trying not to. Our residents are my first priority. But given the unfortunate circumstances, we are working through that. So again, just want to be very transparent about that while remaining confidential and politically correct. But that is where we're at, and we'll make sure that we get that filled. In the meantime, Ginger is helping, and we will continue meeting your needs. Just another reminder, please don't forget to push your daily check-in between 5 a.m. and 9:59. Please try to hold off from 10 to 10:30 while we're completing those check-ins so we can ensure you're all accounted for and safe. And please, reminder to wear your pendants. I get asked about why can we put security pendant lights in various bathrooms and various areas. And we most certainly can. However, if you're walking in the parking lot or you're walking in the corridor, there are not pendant lights there. So we need you to wear your pendants as much as possible. Again, just another reminder about our extraordinary impressions. This is how you recognize our employees, and this is how we create the employees of the month, as well as give them points to buy stuff. All right. And Lou Weisslogel, is he here today? He might not be. Where is he? Come on up, Lou. This has been in the works for a couple weeks now. We wanted to make sure that we recognized all of your hard work and dedication that you've done with us over the many years helping us at our front desk. We did want to get operations in place, but we want to know that you are genuinely appreciated, and that is for all your years of service here at Regency at our front desk. So we thank you, Lou, and we just appreciate everything that you've done for us. Yeah.
Just want to say something. Never for a loss of words.
I love that.
Speak into it.
You know, there's a lot of experience, knowledge sitting out there. And I hope that you can find
We can't hear.
hope you can find use for that talent. Because when people volunteer, community. It gives them a sense of ownership and belonging. And when that happens, it's good for them and be good for Regency Oaks.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lou. And we'll back to the podium. Well, that concludes our brief Tuesday Talk updates. I can take some questions now, if you have any. Of course you do. Hi, Miss Judy, I saw you.
This isn't a question, but when we moved here almost 11 years ago, I would get up and I'd push that button and it wasn't taking. You have to hold the button in until the red light goes off. Remember that, everyone, it's very important.
Thank you for that. Yes, hold it in, that would help. We are working on updating that system. I'm working on getting quotes and bids now to put that for 2024 CapEx. It is an antiquated system, and we are working through the kinks of getting those parts, but sorry, put this down. So yes, that is something that we are working on, hopefully for 2024 to get updated.
Lindsay, I have a question back here. I saw the gentleman outside putting up signs, and I asked him if he had a big one to go outside the double doors, and he said he didn't. Is one planned?
So that was actually planned by development about a year ago when they were doing all of the signs for the offices. We most certainly will be ordering one, but it wasn't part of that project, but we can, yes.
Okay, second question. What is LCS's policy on paying employees during an emergency, such as what we had?
So we actually have a 3-page policy that I was going to share with Chris in our president's briefing, and we do pay them.
I have a question. In the mail, I received the notice about voting. The past few years, I've voted by mail, and now they've sent me a new voter registration card. And if I read it right, I think I have to notify them that I need a mail-in. Yes. It won't automatically come to me.
No.
Is that correct?
Yes.
I do not know the answer to that, but the other residents are saying no. Is there anyone that can speak to that? You have to re-register. 8 months in Florida.
Hi, everybody, and that is probably the most confusing piece of legislation I think any of us have ever read. If you look at what the newspapers are saying, oh yeah, you absolutely need to re-register. Then you look at something else and it says, well, maybe you don't. I want to get you the answers. And whatever the answer is, I want to make available to everybody to be able to check their registration for themselves or with our assistance, just like we have done in previous years, helping with getting people registered. Andrea and I are working on finding a date and a time to do that. We want to do it this year if we can. I know there's a lot going on, but we'd like to do it this year to answer the questions, just like Eleanor has. So we're ready for the primaries when they come up in March or so. First elections of any kind. Does that work for everybody? Okay, we'll be in touch.
And I was used to my program director also playing a part in that, so I imagine Sam and Ginger, you guys help implement that as well.
That is correct.
I want to give you kudos for getting the side of the column in the Grand Lobby South repaired where it looks excellent, because it had looked like for a long time.
We are trying to implement we are implementing a preventative maintenance and routine touch-up process. Thank you.
I have two questions. One is about the polling. I'm confused, and it's worrisome to me.
What polling?
Is that what you just did, the survey?
Oh, the resident survey, got it. Okay.
Why were you so interested that the results go to you first?
So they would come to the community, they come not to me per se, but what we were wanting to do was encourage participation. So we had an idea of how many participated. LCS's very first metric is participation. Then of course it goes into the satisfaction levels. But they are fully sealed, and we encourage them to be fully sealed for confidential reasons. But you most certainly have the right to submit it however you wish.
Well, why was it, well, you said that there was no ability to be part of the rewards for coming to.
That was an incentive program that we did, so we were able to kind of basically take a view of participation to kind of manage exactly what the participation levels were. So, because if everyone just mailed them off, we would have had no idea until it was too late. And we really wanted to make sure we highly encouraged participation. So that gave us a way to gauge it.
And that address was actually to a company?
It is to a third-party company. They don't go through our hands other than accepting them fully closed and confidential. Yep.
The second question I had is sort of attached to Margaret's. There's a lot of dissatisfaction among the staff about not being paid for coming in.
That's not accurate.
They're not accurate, they're happy about it?
No, the not being paid is not accurate.
Oh, well, that's nice to hear.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yep. And I can most certainly send out our policy if you'd like to see it. Just because someone says something doesn't make it accurate.
Right, you're done.
Why is it taking so long to get 732 up and running?
Yeah.
So that was a Spectrum issue, and I actually asked Darwin to follow up on that again this morning so I could figure out exactly what was going on. But it was a Spectrum issue, and as we all know, working with Spectrum can be a little daunting. So we have been pushing them, and we are trying to get that resolved.
Thank you.
I have a question about the sign or lack of it outside the Regency room in the north building. We've been asking about having a sign outside here, and if it takes as long to fix the Regency room, then I've been here 13 years, and we're still getting new people coming in. Where's the Regency room, they ask. There's no knowledge for them about where it should be, where it is. So could a sign please go outside the Regency room that says what it is, the Regency room? Because we have a lot of lunches and events in there, and people are not always aware where to go.
So it's, okay, I'd have to put my eyes on it. I haven't looked particularly at that lately. I assume there is a sign that says the Regency room, but we can most certainly order one.
No, there is not.
No? 13 years and never a sign ordered?
30 years. 30 years.
Jeez Louise. Okay, got it. Groundbreaking moments, that's right. We can get one ordered, absolutely. Any other questions?
For transportation, do we still use the phone number, the same phone number, and leave a message?
Yes, and extension 304.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. Hi, Roger.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
First things first, I didn't have this question until this morning, or observation until this morning, but I did this last year and I want to do it again. There was an advertisement on television about the viatical activity as though it's a good investment for you. I want to plead with you, if you approached by anybody who wants to have you get involved with the viatical processing, let me know and I'll be glad to debate it, privately or publicly. Because I was involved in the viatical investigation activity for about 5 years, well, actually more than 5 years. And it's a rotten, in my book, investment, so be careful. Essentially, they're going to talk to you about selling your life insurance policy. And a life insurance policy is just like a renter's policy, a homeowner's policy, a building policy. It's a contract. And when you sell your contract, you lose control. And the most important part about that is you don't have the right to choose a beneficiary, because they sell parts of your life insurance policy to quote-unquote investors. And it's a bad news thing for them too. I could talk to you for at least an hour on that, but I won't. But I'm
We'll
curious.
set up a session for you.
Because it was really a wholesale activity some years back. It started in California and moved across the country very quickly and landed in Florida. And it's in my book, it's a rotten thing. And the salespeople, many of them, most of them aren't qualified to sell anything. But we talked about the poll results. Oh, polling. Robin, maybe I missed it, but did you also suggest that we invite the supervisor of elections to come out here and conduct a seminar?
That's one of the things that's
Okay.
under consideration. It depends on the date, Roger. We know what needs to happen.
Well, I'd start this morning and get her out here.
Well, we're already on it, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
They're on it.
We talked about the transportation issues, advertising, the advertising graph that appears in the the Tampa Bay Times, in the Sunday newspaper. And I noticed, I look at it almost every week to see who's coming and going. But about a month ago, I noticed that we were in it, we had a line, number 9, and then I noticed that the next week, there was no advertisement for Regency Oaks. And I thought, well, maybe the printer made a mistake. But the next week, and the next week, we're not in that full page ad. And that raises the question, why? The last time I brought this up a couple of weeks ago, you said, well, you had the invoice, but that was a couple of weeks ago, and we're still not listed.
Yes, I'm aware, as I told you a couple weeks ago, that's exactly what happened. So there was some invoicing issues. We have gotten that resolved with corporate. We don't pay bills here from the community. We work with corporate to get that addressed, and Betsy's been in contact with them as to exactly when our advertising will resume. Fortunately, it didn't happen overnight, but that is still in the process, and we will get that rectified.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Otherwise, it raises hallway conversations. It's like, can we afford to advertise?
I addressed it 2 weeks ago what the issue was. Any other questions?
I just want to make a comment about our facilities. I think we should all be very careful about how we treat our home. Right now, the piano is shoved up against the drapes. We have these long drapes in here, and repeatedly, I've seen walkers shove it up there. I have seen the time when we have food in here, that things are up against the draperies. Not only the draperies, but our walls and other things. Just please be careful of our facilities.
I agree. Thank you, Miss Johanna. Any other questions? All right, well, that will conclude our Tuesday talk. I appreciate you guys attending and participating. I'll see you around in the same place, same time next week. Have a great day. Bye.